Welcome back, everyone, to the FloTrack podcast. I'm Kevin Sully. He's Gordon Mack. FloTrackPodcast@gmail.com is the email address. And we begin today with the sad news about the passing of Cameron Burrell at the age of 26. Burrell was the 2018 NCAA champion in the 100 and the 4x100 meter relay at the University of Houston. His father, Leroy, of course, the head coach of the University of Houston and a track and field legend. His mother, Michelle, won an Olympic gold medal as well. And over the past couple days after the news broke about Burrell's death, there's been an outpouring of grief and remembrance from across the track and field community. At the beginning of the show, I wanted to pass along our condolences to Burrell's family, friends, and everybody who's a part, Gordon, of that University of Houston community after this tragedy.
Yeah, when the news hit, it just didn't feel real, going to be honest. I remember when we went and filmed that 2019 Speed City Houston film. I worked a lot with Leroy. Cam was always there a couple times. He had graduated since then, but he was part of that strong like alumni contingent who was always around doing workouts. And it's just so feels so weird seeing someone pass that young. It's someone that you covered, you talked to that person, you interacted with them, you watched them run, you talked about their great races, and then all of a sudden it's just done. It just doesn't feel real. It's very sad. And I definitely got a feel for, his teammates like Eli Hall, who basically was with them all the way through high school, through college. He transferred to Houston to be with Cam. They went 1-2 in the 100. They won the 4x1 back-to-back years. It just that whole Houston track and field, community is devastated because you just don't see something like this happening. You don't prepare for it. You're not ready. And then when it happens, you don't know what to do. And obviously grief is the first thing, but man, it feels so wild and not real yet. Even though it's been a few days, it's sad. Hey man,
Mm-hmm.
say you love your friends and family, right? Every day. That's
Mm-hmm.
the only thing you can take away from this. So
And he's been, like I said, a member of the track and field community for a while. I mean, I guess if you think about his parents, his whole life, he's been part of this community here. So teammates he had at Houston, everybody. Um, it seems like when they're sharing experiences, had a story about how great of a teammate he was. I'll remember the 2018 NCAA championships when after he won the 100. Gordon, do you remember this? He dedicated the race to Brian Barraza, who had fallen in the steeplechase, which I thought was just an incredible display of how he thought about his team. Just a selfless nod, a true show of leadership there. He has um, this great victory, but he's thinking about, not even someone in his own event group, someone in a completely different event. And he took his time to recognize him and to dedicate his race because he always seemed focused on the team. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more remembrances about him. Encourage everybody to go learn from the people who knew him best. But just a terribly sad news in the track and field world.
yeah. And again, you got to feel for, Coach Leroy. He puts a lot of energy and time into the sport of track and field, obviously from his pro days to now being a coach. And, nothing was probably more important to him than seeing his own son go through coaching him when he was in high school, getting to coach him in college and post college. And it's just, you don't expect things like this, right? This is not a challenge you're prepared for. You don't know how, you're prepared for heartbreak of, a breakup or an injury or just, bad luck here and there. You're just not prepared for something this extreme. So once again, yeah, nothing but love out to the Houston family and especially the Burrell family. You see a photo there with Coach Burrell and his son and the rest of the family there. It's just so yeah, it's sad. That's I guess that's
Hmm.
really you really don't have any other words, right? It's just you don't know how to kind of react.
Hmm. Yeah. Listen, and there's no good way to pivot from that to talking about track and field, but again, condolences out to everybody at Houston, and wishing them the best through this horrible tragedy.